Alright everyone, it's a little bit of humor time here from Slogan actually, lambasting the Democrats for their sort of run-up advertising up until the 2018 midterms. You see, the DNC has released a slew of official bumper stickers already. And one of them has just about the most tone-deaf and unfortunate slogan that you can possibly think of, and it encapsulates the entire problem with the Democratic Party. And to think that they thought that this was going to be a good idea to release, it boggles the mind. Even Slogan, which loves the Democratic Party, they are partisans, whether they support, a more progressive or a more neoliberal cause is up in the air. It depends on the day and who writes the article. But they have no love for anything conservative or traditionalist or nationalistic. They're globalists and they're leftists. So they make this write-up and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? And here's why. One of the official slogans that the Democrats have released on one of these bumper stickers, the one that is basically displays the problem with the party at large. I mean, have you seen the other guys? In other words, again, here you have, encapsulated in a single sentence, a slogan that displays exactly what's wrong with the Democrats and their strategy right now. They only can compare themselves to either Trump in specific or the Republican Party in general. They do not have a platform. There is no platform right now for the Democratic Party. Perez has not delivered any sort of platform. Pelosi has talked about basically nothing as the de facto spirit leader of the Democratic Party, which is laughable in and of itself. The fact that Nancy Pelosi is basically their heavy hitter right now should have people who are Democratic partisans very, very concerned. She has said nothing to the effect of anything policy related. The only thing that they've done for 6 months is resist Republican policy. That is, the Republicans have made a slew of suggestions, some of which are sane, some of which are fine, some of which are very helpful, some of which are totally off the wall, like Ryan Care or McConnell Care. Now you have Rand and sort of a begrudging willingness to work with the Democrats on a healthcare bill. I support this, by the way, and I stated very early on, before Trump even got elected, I said if they're going to go for healthcare reform, that's going to be a platform of a Trump presidency if he wins, and I expected he would. He probably is going to find himself having no choice but to work with the more sane Democrats and the more sane Republicans in order to get the votes because of all the never-Trump crap that goes on within the GOPers within the Senate. And lo and behold, that's exactly what's happening. But the Democrats haven't actually suggested how to make healthcare work better, because quite clearly, approval of Obamacare is fairly low. It remained fairly low for years. The Democrats turned a blind eye to this, had no problem with the fact that it was unpopular, had no problem with the fact that everyone hated the mandate, including most Democrats. They had no problem with this. They just didn't talk about it. They said, oh, yeah, Obamacare got more people into insurance. Yes, it got a lot of people into crappy subsidized plans while kicking people of greater means out of plans that they liked and made them pay more for the ones that they wanted to retain, or they pay the same amount for less coverage. That's not a win. That's not a working reform of healthcare. There are a million ways you could reform healthcare. Rand, as the adult in the room, can probably design something that's better than anything that Paul Ryan or Mitch McConnell can concoct. And it requires working with the Democrats. The problem is the Democrats don't seem to want to work with anybody. It's not the Republicans that are unwilling. They already have the House and Senate. They can push through any legislation that they happen to want. They can invoke the nuclear option in the Senate and pass literally anything under the sun right now. And there is nothing that the Democrats in the legislature can do to stand in the way. They have to revert to using federal courts in order to try to stop what they want to stop. Unfortunately, what they've done is they pissed a lot of people off on that too. 6 in 10 Americans support Trump's temporary travel ban. They chose to try to block that while simply doing nothing about healthcare, not even really weighing in other than to say the GOP plan will kill people. Oh, really? Then why aren't you trying to hold court with the Republicans and restructure it to take care of that problem so that something that actually works can be passed through? The Democrats seem to have this fantasy that the Republicans, left to their own devices, they'll give them enough rope to hang themselves. The thing is, Trump has already shown a remarkable willingness to stand in the way of his own party, too, when the plan is wrong. He did this on Ryan Care. He abandoned it. He did this on McConnell Care. He said, oh, don't be so, this plan is kind of mean. You should fix it further. Then he takes Rand aside, puts him in the fore, exactly what he should be doing. It's a knockout punch for the Republicans to do that. Simply having Rand there, even if he's ineffectual half the time, is better than not having him visible in the process of crafting their healthcare bill. But hang healthcare, it doesn't, you just repeal Obamacare. Trump has alluded to this too. Oh, maybe we'll just repeal it and then we'll replace it later when we can actually work on this. He needs to go for tax reform, but the Democrats won't work with them on that either. I would invoke the nuclear option in the Senate, myself. The Democrats did at times in the past with regards to appointments. That's just one small step. We might as well just fuck the government processes that we have in place. Because the Democrats already started the process. Well, technically, Bush starts it with all his police state bullshit. The Democrats under Obama continue it, and now it's continuing with the never-Trump side of the Republican Party. Trump should just throw up his hands and say, okay, well, you do whatever you want, and I'll just wield the veto power here as the final check on legislative authority. And we'll just pass a whole bunch of shit. And we'll fill appointments with whoever we want, and we'll ignore the Democratic Party completely. Because they don't even have a platform. They're not willing to work with us. They simply call me Orange Hitler. That's the Democrats right now. This slogan, keep in mind, higher level Democrats saw this slogan that they suggested for these bumper stickers. Some focus group dreamed up a bunch of different slogans and crafted some images and sent them up to a higher office. And higher ranking Democrats, people who are very close to people like Pelosi and Feinstein, actually thought that this slogan was a good idea. They actually thought, unironically, that this would be a win for them in some strategic sense. I mean, have you seen the other guys? Are you insane? Do the Democrats want to disappear from off the face of the earth and revert from major party to minor party and then to total irrelevance? Because this is how you accomplish that. A second grader would tell you that this was not a good slogan to use for political campaigning. But it does, in all honesty, it does represent the Democratic Party today. They are aging, they are confused, they don't have leadership, and they keep making these dumb mistakes. The Republican Party is a party with some dumb ideas that actively resists its own leader, which is Donald Trump. He's the leader of the Republicans, essentially, in all manners. The Democrats, meanwhile, have no platform and no leadership. That's actually, the Republican Party right now isn't even technically a strong movement. Trump is strong, but he keeps getting strangulated by idiots like Mitch McConnell. It would be easy for anyone with any strategic understanding to take them down if they just built a strategy and a platform other than, well, we're neoliberals, we're going to bring back the TPP from the dead, more globalism, more censorship, higher taxes, woo-ha-ha. That was basically Hillary Clinton's platform. That doesn't work, clearly. I think they decided that because neoliberalism no longer wins elections, they're just going to raise a huge amount of money, which they continue to do, not even have a platform, and hope that people vote for them. That's their strategy right now. It's crazy. These people are freaking nuts. Oh, have you seen the other guys? Yes, people did see the other guys. That's why they voted for them, because you don't have a platform. You have no recognizable heavy-hitting faces within the Democratic Party. The segments of the corporate media friendly to big money and establishment politics have to artificially drum up excitement for people like Mark Cuban or The Rock, who probably won't even run. A bunch of celebrities, people, philanthropists. You don't even have any like career politicians who excite anybody. You did, long ago you did. Last time you truly excited people was in 2008. 2012 comes along, the Democratic Party basically looks like a funeral wake. People aren't nearly as excited about Obama. He wins basically because his opponent is just Obama 2.0 and even more boring. That's why Romney lost. What's the point of voting for Mitt Romney if he's basically just another Obama who happens to have an R after his name? The Republican movement, though, right now does excite people. Trump excites people, especially the internet generation. The Democrats don't. You got left behind. It's time to own up to that fact, and it's time to switch strategies, which you seem incapable of doing. Dig out some smaller time, like state-level Democrats that are well-spoken, that are on the younger side, that have different platforms other than we're going to bomb Iran, which was Hillary platform, and we took a backseat on gay marriage, and we're not really progressive on social issues. We just want to abuse people's wallets and have globalism and abuse U.S. business. Why don't you forsake that and actually have a platform that's capable of being voted for? You're going to get wiped out in the midterms. If this is your idea of a strategy, it's going to be a mayhem in the midterms. You're going to lose so much you don't even understand. Demographically, because of the races that are up, the Democrats are already at a severe disadvantage, and now they're kicking themselves in the nuts. You're kicking yourself in your own scrotum by doing stuff like this. And it's funny, but it's like, how can people be so dumb? A focus group thought this was a good idea. Some upper-level Democrat did too, apparently. Oh yeah, that's a great slogan. Ha, 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 just look at the other guys. Ha, that's a good one. They actually thought... There's nothing more to say about the issue. It's just so dumb. It's painful. It's cringy. And they're going to keep it there and sell these. People are not going to buy these to put them on their cars. People are going to buy these, put them in a frame they're going to put them in a museum as a relic of a party that once existed. It'll be like having Whig literature in 100 years or something like that. That's about all. Peace out.